Hello, everybody, and welcome to Saturday morning. We are talking today about the highest paying trades in 2024. And I have a special guest with me, and I'll introduce him in just a second. To everybody who's on TikTok and Instagram, guys, thank y'all for being in here. If you want to jump over to leave comments, jump over onto YouTube, search Roger Wakefield. You know where we're at. But you know, here's the thing. If you've never been here before, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. Glad you joined us on a Saturday morning. And if you've never been here before, man, jump in and ask a question. Leave a Q in front of it. That way we see it. We'll get to it. If you do that, man, I'll know you got a question you want answered. Now, it's not just me here. I've got great people, not just in the studio, but also in the chat. If you've been here before and you're back again, man, I'm glad you're here. Now, if you found this video on one of our recorded videos and this is not what you're looking for, just jump back up, hit the magnifying glass, search for what it is you're looking for. But you may want to hang out in here because, man, this is really a lot of fun. We're going to get to a lot of questions, a lot of comments, but today we're actually going to talk about the highest paying trades in 2024. And I got to tell you, you know, I almost feel bad because I've always said, look, plumbers are one of the highest paying trades. And we are. Yeah. Just not near the highest. And it's been very interesting today. So, Zach, take just a second. Tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Yeah, I'm Zach Cutbirth. I'm the business rep at Local 21, IUEC Local 21 Elevators in Dallas, Fort Worth.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So I've got a stroller up there. This video is sponsored by, well, the Wakefield app. And if you're thinking about getting in the trades, want to become a better tradesman, want to start your own business, or want to learn how to use networking or social media to grow your business, guys, this is what we talk about in the app. We've got a lot of free content, a lot of great free content, a lot of morning motivational stuff that literally I wish would have been there for me when I first got in the trades. It's cool stuff that we've put together. And anybody who pre-signs up now is going to have access to it. We do a soft launch this coming week, guys. And this is something we've been working on for almost a year. But we're doing a soft launch this week. So you'll be able to jump in and check it out. Let us know what you think. I am really, really looking forward to this. So, and I think if you get in this week, you get like pre-access to everything on there. So it's going to be some really cool stuff. Now, I think that I've got my stuff set up where it should do its job now. Everybody who's over here on TikTok and Instagram, love to have y'all jump over to YouTube. If you have any questions, put them in there. So, man, I'm going to be talking to y'all up here. I'm going to be talking to y'all over here. And we're going to have a good day today. So, first of all, I want to jump into the comments real quick. Man, it says I only had 3 comments, and I jump in here, and I'm already like an hour behind. Squirt says, good morning, effing crew. Happy Saturday. Yeah, those of y'all that are on TikTok and Instagram don't know, we've got the effing crew. And it means for now. You know, it's
for now.
Nothing bad.
Yeah, I got
it. Everybody thinks it might mean something else, and I don't know. I guess anything's possible. Yeah. NYC Awakening says, good morning, folks. I'm switching careers at 31 to become a plumber. You know, everybody wants to be a plumber. You probably want to be a plumber deep down inside, don't you?
Yeah, you know.
Hey, with the money he makes, I know better.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this in a little bit. It's going to be pretty wild. But NYC, good morning to you. And look, switching careers at the age of 31, there's nothing wrong with it. You switched at 25.
Right, 25, yeah.
Would you go back and change that?
I'd go back sooner. I'd try to get in the trade a whole lot sooner.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, and look, NYC Awakening, I don't know what you do right now, but the trades are a great career. I don't care if it's, you know, electricians are way down here on the bottom rung. And then there's HVAC techs, and then there's plumbers. And then, man, I know. You can go ahead and stick it up. You're taller than me. It's way up there.
It's way up here.
Man, I got to tell y'all, y'all are going to die because later we're going to talk about not just what they make on the check, but what their total package is. And, you know, he's been playing it real cool. It's like, well, you know, on the check it's this and on the check it's, and I'm like, wait a minute. I remember being in the union. I was surprised because we made a lot more money than we made on the check. And then when I saw how much they make on the check, it's like, holy Toledo. Man. Anyway, we're going to talk about that. Smart move, whatever your career you're leaving. And yeah, like I said, not sure what you're doing now, but getting into the trades it's a great opportunity. Now, one thing I will tell you, plumbing, electrical, and HVAC are still my favorite. If you have an entrepreneurial mind, how hard would it be to join the Elevator Construction Workers Union and eventually own my own company?
It'd take you a while
It's
because you're going to have to work all the way through your apprenticeship program, be a mechanic, and then start, networking and then try to open your own company. And it's going to take a little bit.
Yeah, because y'all, I mean, there's not a lot of residential elevators. So you really don't want to open a residential elevator company.
Yeah, there's not very many.
Yeah. I've seen one indoor elevator or one elevator in a residence. Zach's been in it 27 years.
Right.
And you hadn't seen one yet.
No.
Or you've seen one.
I've seen one. I've never worked on one. Yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't work on it either. If so, there'd be a toilet in it right now. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Thomas had started an electrical apprenticeship about 2 months ago now. Been loving it so far. Well, electricians, if you're smarter, the plumber level's right up. No, I'm joking. I am. Look, do y'all get on the job and give plumbers and electricians and HVAC techs a hard time too?
Yeah, we give everybody a hard time. All the trades. We don't just, walk around like we're the big chicken, but
you think you are?
No,
Y'all are.
Elevator guys
I've seen your paychecks.
Yeah, elevator guys are prima donnas, is what the way we act.
I like that. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
I think it's well deserved. I think y'all got a reason behind it. Artie Fresh Fit says, good morning from Kansas, Roger. Man, welcome to the show. And guys, look, any of y'all that are in here, and I normally wait till we get to 50, but I'm looking at 40 over here. I'm looking at another some odd number over here. It's just got one waiting schedule too. So, man, we're doing great here. Do me a favor and tell me where you're from and what you do. I see that Artie Fresh Fit is from Kansas, but what do y'all do? Are you an elevator mechanic? Are you a plumber, an HVAC technician, an electrician? I think that plumbing and electrical and HVAC, if you're an entrepreneur, are great trades to think about because any one of those, once you learn it good, you could get out and open your own residential service company pretty good. And you can make a good living at it. And in the app, and this video is sponsored by the Wakefield app, in the app, we teach people how to get into the trades, how to become a great tradesman, how to open their own business, and then how to use networking and social media to make your phone ring, to grow that bottom line. Anybody over here in TikTok and Instagram, if y'all have got a question, and man, I see y'all waving at me. I can't do a lot over there because number one, the phone's way out of reach to get both of us in here. But if y'all have got questions, I would love for y'all to jump over onto YouTube, jump in the live stream, give us a shout, and man, I'd love to answer your questions. Anybody who does answer your questions, remember, we're here for you. We want to help you. We want to help you get a good career in the trades, help you choose the right trade for you because we're all different. I would never want to be an electrician because I didn't like getting shocked. Okay. I used to hate those games, people put the buzzer in their hand or something.
Oh, yeah.
They grab you and shock you and I'd end up in a fight. And it's like, okay, 3-day suspension. No, not really. But I just didn't like getting shocked. But it was funny because I think I used to give my little brother and sister knives and forks and say, hey, go stick them in those outlets over and see what'll happen. It never happened, but
Never got that lucky.
Never got that lucky. I could have been a single kid.
You should have.
Isaiah Johnson from West Virginia. Good to see you in here. Himboob Mika says, highest paying trade is at linemen, elevator constructors, ship, fire, rescue, underwater welders. Man, you bring up underwater welders. That's some pretty good money too.
That's good money.
That's pretty good money too. That's one of the top ones. And I say that the elevator construction workers are probably the highest paying trade. The only two that I know that might be higher would be underwater welders and the crane operators.
Crane operators.
The God, what do they call them? The laborers union. Yeah. Or equipment operators.
Operators union.
Operators union. There you go. And a lot of them guys make $100 an hour on a check.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but you're up there lifting and moving the world. So I get that. And besides, they got to climb that daggum thing
they got to climb that ladder every
freaking day and every night.
But we could put an elevator in for them.
We could. You know, that might be a good idea.
Yeah.
I bet they wouldn't pay them as much then.
No.
They're like, don't put an elevator in. They ain't going to want to pay me. Okay, so guys, here's the link right here. And I'm going to talk about this again for just a second because it's a soft launch this week. Anybody who pre-signs up, you'll get notified when it's launched. You can go in, play with it, check it out, kick the tires on it. Let me know what you think about it because I would love to hear about it. Imbu Micah says, and man, I'm probably pronouncing your name all wrong. I'm going to pronounce it Moob Micah. Hope I got that right. Says, Thomas, I joined my local IBEW last February. Love the job so far. And, you know, that's the cool thing is guys, look, I really don't think I would have enjoyed being an electrician. I like cleaning up after myself. Electricians don't. And I mean, it's pretty much true.
Yeah, true.
I know.
Yeah.
So when an electrical worker does electrical work, when an elevator mechanic does electrical work, does he clean up after himself?
Oh, yeah,
He doesn't leave it like the electricians do.
No, we don't leave it laying like they do.
I know, that's rough. That's pretty good, though. And I'm glad you love the job, brother. Artie Fresh Fit says, good morning from Kansas. Perfect. Thank you so much. Guys, you know, I love it when people get on here and say, Roger, thank you for what you do. No, thank y'all. You know, y'all allow me to get in here every week and do what I do. I get to shoot videos. I get to travel the country. I get to go to conferences. I get to speak about the trades. I get to speak about social media. I get to do some cool stuff. And really, I should be thanking y'all every day because, man, y'all make it where I can do this. Chris Shreves says, good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you, Chris. Good to see you in here as always. And I guess I hadn't been here in a couple of weeks. Last week, where was I last Saturday? Last Saturday, I was in Salt Lake City in a YouTube course. Actually, this time last Saturday, I was speaking in Salt Lake City. Really, it was pretty cool. Got to speak to a YouTube group that I'm part of. And the Saturday before, I was flying to Chicago because I had a speaker training Sunday through Friday. So pretty neat stuff. And again, I go back and say, I should be thanking y'all because y'all allow it. Y'all put me in a position where I can do stuff like that. And it's amazing. Anyone can see says, hi, I'm at 35K flying and want to learn plumbing on the side. If you're at 35K flying, go fix the toilet while you're flying. And I want to see how that works out.
Yeah, you might worry about flying more than worry about plumbing.
Yeah, if I was flying right now, I wouldn't even be worried about flying. I'd be like, focus on what you're doing.
Yeah.
No, I love it. And I like that because I'm able to get into on the airlines that I fly. I'm able to get in and watch YouTube and do different things. So good for you, man. And look, getting into plumbing, it's not really a side job. Do you have any guys that work part-time where it's like, hey, I want to be an elevator construction worker on the side?
No, it's not a part-time gig.
Yeah. Now, I tell people that the only way that they can find a part-time gig plumbing is if they happen to know a plumbing company owner that works around the clock, and they say, hey, I'd like to be your late night apprentice. I'd like to be your weekend apprentice, something like that. But, man, the thing is, I think once you get into it, you're going to be like, hey, I want to learn this because it's going to take you forever to get a license that way. Bubmika says, question, what happened to the pros and cons of joining a union live stream? Oh, there's pros and cons, but it kind of got changed a little bit because the highest paying jobs are really the biggest topic. But look, I have no problem. The pros and cons of joining the union. Okay. And we talked about this. So I will tell you this, those of y'all that have not done it yet, there is, and I'm looking to see if it's over here, that there's another YouTube channel called The Trade Talks. Go check it out. I interviewed Zach today. It'll be up there in a couple of weeks. And we talked about that, but real quick, like, what are the pros of being in the union? And this is all unions, not just the elevators. Then we'll kind of fine tune yours.
The pros of being in the union, you're going to have somebody that will go to bat for you. You're going to get a better wage. You're going to get a better benefit package, retirement and stuff like that. You're going to have somebody that'll stand up for you and do the right thing. And you have brothers in the union. I mean, when I say brothers, you meet these guys that you've known for 20, 25 years, and they're your union brother, but also you're going to make great friendships that are going to last forever.
And I'll agree with that up until the point of this. You got somebody that'll stand up for you, because I had a problem with one of my union people that didn't like the way I ran my work, so I kind of got blackballed. But I still tried to be a union member. I still, when I started my residential company, had to go to him to say, hey, I want to be a union company. So it was kind of tough, and it didn't work out. It's very hard to try to be a residential union contractor in Texas.
Right.
And I tried because I wanted it, because I did. I wanted the benefits for my people, not for me. I wanted my people to have the best insurance. I want them, I knew I could pay them what I wanted, but I was doing it through the union to try to make sure that they were good. The pros are amazing. Number one, there's an education. I learned open shop. Now, luckily for me, I worked for one of the best plumbers I've ever worked with. And he was a teacher. He wanted to teach you, this is how you do it. This is the right way. And it was always the right way, and that was the only way. A lot of open shop plumbers don't get that education. They get stuck with a mediocre plumber. They learn to be a mediocre plumber, and all they'll ever cap out at is a mediocre plumber, because they don't know any better. Now, there are other plumbers along the way that say, hey, look, I like this, but I want to learn more. So the pros to the union are amazing. The education, the money, the benefits, it's phenomenal. The elevator union actually has better benefits than the plumbers union. They get 2 vacation checks a year. God, I keep going back to that, man.
One in January, one in July, man.
I want to start over. That's almost like a late Christmas bonus. Yeah. No, you already brought in your 125. I can't even get in now.
Yeah, no, we'll work.
He says we'll figure it out. Yeah, they'd die if I showed up tomorrow. Oh, by the way, I'm not just a plumber; I'm an elevator mechanic too.
Yeah.
But their benefits are amazing, and that's why it's one of the hardest unions to get in, I believe. No matter what, if you're in New York or Dallas, but the benefits make it worth it. And we even talked about this, and Mr. Michael, I'm gonna spend a little time here, because we talked about this a while ago. Even if you realize right now you're in the Dallas area and you want in the elevators union, you see this video right now and you're like, oh my God, that's what I want. They're not hiring for 2 more years. Okay. Now the world could change. They could throw up 100 new high rises in Dallas tomorrow, and they're gonna say next year, oh my God, we need more people. They can move it up. It's they hire when they need people. Okay. Y'all got to remember that. They're not just hiring to have people there. They're hiring because they have a need for people, okay? But we talked about that. If you can't get into the elevator union right now, going down and getting a job as an electrician at an open shop company might be a good thing.
Yep.
Now, I would make it a commercial company, because you want to be able to say, hey, I've worked on these big jobs, and you learn the commercial side of it, not just the residential repair.
Right, some kind of construction trade, so you have tool knowledge and you have an idea of what goes on in construction. You know, instead of just sacking groceries. Yeah, that's what you got to do, but sacking groceries is not going to help you get in the elevator trade.
Right, and it's not going to help you get in the plumbing trade either. I mean, you may say, man, my customer service skills are great. Well, good. You're going to be a helper. You're going to be an apprentice. You don't need any. Your customer service skills need to be looking at the journeyman you're working with and saying, yes, sir, and listen to what he says. And really, that's about it.
Right.
The cons to the union, and I look at it from, somebody stepping out, looking at it. The difference in it and open shop, you're going to have to go to school some. In the elevator union, you go 1 night a week. In the plumbers union, you go 2 nights a week. You only go during the school year. So if your kids are in school, you're in school. If they're out of school, chances are you're out of school. You get snow days just like they do. Different things happen. Some of the unions, there's a lot of politics in. And it's a, people say if you're going to be in the union, you've got to learn to play the political game. And I don't know that it's really politics. I don't know that it's really a game, but they've got their thoughts and beliefs in the way it should be. But when Local 100 would come in, they'd say, we're going to tell you who to vote for. Okay, I've got a mind of my own, and I want to vote who's best for me. And I remember the UA talking to the president at this particular time I'm talking about. He said, hey, we told everybody to vote for Biden. And then when I saw him, it was a few months later, he says, we really made a mistake there, because as soon as Biden got in, he canceled the XL pipeline. but he told us he was going to, but we really didn't think he would. And now they're mad at him. It's like, wait, he told you, hey, I'm going to cancel this. And this is a one-on-one meeting behind doors. I'm going to cancel this. And you're still telling your people to vote on him. You voted somebody in who pulled out a ton of jobs when the other guy running that a lot of people in the U.S. don't like is like, hey, we need it. So it's kind of a different world.
Yeah.
Kind of a different world. Do y'all tell your people who y'all think is best for them to vote for?
We don't tell them who to vote for. We tell them to vote labor friendly.
And
that's it.
At the end of the day, we're all labor.
Yeah. If that's not who you want to vote for, then you vote who you want to vote for.
But then don't complain when construction dies down, projects get pulled,
right?
Things like that. You voted who you voted for. Okay. You won. Congratulations. You're unemployed. Have a great day.
Right.
And I'll tell you what's funny. I was in the Bahamas last week, and literally my cab driver says, do you mind if I ask you a question? I said, no, not at all. He said, who do you think's going to win the next election? I said, I think Trump. And I do. And he said, you better hope so. He said, because Biden is screwing your country. And man, it's like, wow. It's like, I'm in the Bahamas. And he says, look, Biden hurt my business over here. He had a business. And he says that when Biden got elected, it changed things over there. And look, I don't want to get into politics, but we're talking the union and non-union. And I think that is part of the con, because literally they would bring in people and say, this is who you need to vote for. This is who you need to vote for. Here's the piece of paper. This is a list of who all you need to vote for. And it's like, the right to vote is my right. It's not the right for you to tell me who I have to vote for.
Right.
So I love that y'all don't tell them. But look, at the end of the day, if we're in the field, if we're labor, guess what? You need somebody in the office that's labor friendly. And we should all agree on that. I'll get off the soapbox now. Los Chuda Buddha says, I'm 22, second year plumber in Texas. Good for you. Got one more semester left of class that my company pays for. Should I stick to construction or jump to service, since my plan is to start my service company? I'll tell you what, Zach, I'll let you answer this one first, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. So he's 22, second year plumber. The company he's at is paying for him to go to school for construction, but he wants to open his own company one day. And he's like, should I go ahead and jump over to a service company now, since that's what I want to do in the long run?
I would stay at the construction until you get it all done. Then when you get enough in the construction part of it, then you make your choice and go to the service department and open your own service company. But
nailed it.
Take advantage of why you're there and what they're paying you for, and to get that under your belt.
And here's the good thing about being at a construction company. Most people that I know that came up only knowing service, a lot of them still call me and say, hey man, look, I'm looking at this project and I don't understand it. When you're in construction, you understand what's behind the walls. You understand what's underground. You know how it's built. A service plumber walks in and says, man, I got plumbing right here. It's the sink. It's the line sticking out of the wall. This is what I got to work on. The construction plumber says, man, there's a line coming in underground. It splits off and goes everywhere. It comes up. It ties together in the attic. It goes out. I think in construction, you learn a lot more. And I think that's going to help you in the long run. I really, really do. Yeah. And Mr. Micah Colton says, we did change it slightly. We decided, look, pros and cons, we had that conversation. It took about 5 minutes. But highest paying trades, if you had to rank the trades in pay, what was I pretty close? Yeah. The underwater welders, they make good money.
Yeah, they make
real good money. And they only work, a week or two a month.
Yeah. Theirs is pretty dangerous, I'd say.
Yeah. It is. Every time you go down, it's like, is this going to be the last time to go down? And I love scuba diving.
Water and electricity.
I know. The funny thing is, there's a school in Houston that trains at oceanic underwater welding or something. Man, I was applying. It's like, hey, what do I got to do? I wanted to do it. I'm like, man, this could be cool. I love to scuba dive. Love it. And I suck with a welding rod in my hand. But
that's
still,
why he's a plumber.
That's why I'm a plumber, exactly. But the good thing is Randy can weld, so I don't have to. So if I need it done, I just get a welder out here. You are more than welcome there. Mike says, what about opening up your own residential lineman company. You know, that doesn't make sense to me. And here's why I'm going to tell you this. Most electrical lines in the United States today are underground. Now, tell me where you're located. I don't see a lot of linemen working as at a residential company.
Right. No, I see them working at a big, major company.
You bet. Big utilities company, stuff like that. That could be huge. Monagosh says hello. Anyone can see, says in Florida, lots of condos need elevator techs. That would still be not just commercial, that would be like multifamily, stuff like that. But y'all do those, don't you?
Right. Yes. Local 74 and Local 71 down in Florida.
There you go. See,
reach out to them.
Now you know who to go apply for. Skylar Neal says 25, and I've been printing the paper in my town for Idaho for 4 years. I love that, man. That is cool. That's a neat deal too, because I believe news needs to be gotten out there. Okay, so Mr. Micah's in Oklahoma, IBEW Apprentice. Okay, good deal. And, if you're in Oklahoma, let's see, this is one of the thoughts that jump. I'm a foodie. I just tell you, I love good food. So anytime I see somebody from Oklahoma, it's like, if you're in Oklahoma City, have you been to Nick's Grill? Because if not, it is phenomenal. EK says, none of the above, but I'm willing to learn. Any suggestions where to start? If you had a kid next to you, a neighbor comes over and says, hey, Mr. Zach, look, I want to get in the trades. And it's right now, so y'all have already hired.
Right.
But he just wants to get in. He's willing to learn. Any suggestions where to start? What would you tell a neighbor?
I would tell the kid, go down to maybe a electrical contractor, plumbing contractor, anybody, a welding contractor. Say, hey, I'm wanting to learn. I want to learn a trade. I want to learn something. Just put me out there. Let me start.
And guys, that's great advice, because you're going to get experience working with tools. You're going to get great experience working around other trades, which is huge. But you're also going to be put in positions where you're going to have problems. You're going to have issues, things that you need to learn. And it really, that will help you get through the interview process, because so many people in the interview process, they ask them, well, tell me about a problem you've had on a job. Oh, I've never had a problem. You ain't been on many jobs then.
Right.
Because, I mean, man, there's a problem a day. And you just got to look at it and say, well, okay, is the fact that, the guys left the Sawzalls out at lunch really a problem? Probably not anything worth mentioning today. But, the big problem is we were running a 3-inch line. Had been running it for weeks. And then we realized we were in the wrong bay. So we had to move everything over. And how do we do that? So now you look at, wow, how did you do it? That's a problem. Ty Armstrong says Long Island, New York. And Ty, what do you do there? And you may jump in later here and tell me, but I'm just curious, because there's a big pay scale difference. You're $100 an hour on the check down here.
Right.
Which, if y'all can't do the quick math, that's a $200,000 a year job. What about New York?
Oh, it's a higher pay scale.
Well, any idea of ballpark or anything at all?
I don't. I just know it's a whole lot higher than ours. And then you got Vegas scale too, that California scale.
Yeah, California and New York are the ones in the union that are like, if you can go to work at either one of them, you're doing
you're making a good lick.
Yeah, not bad. Nicholas Walton says, licensed plumber, Alabama, keep calm, and Woodford Reserve on. And everybody who's over here in TikTok and where else are we? We're on Instagram. Here's the deal. If y'all got questions or comments, love for y'all to jump over onto YouTube. Jump in. Even if you just jump over to ask your question. Love to talk to y'all. I keep seeing the lines move. I know there's a lot of y'all in there. I'd love to know what all y'all think about what we're talking about, or any of y'all tradespeople or anything at all like that. And I love the Woodford Reserve on. We did open the gun safe a while ago.
Yeah.
There's not many guns in it, but there are guns in it.
I don't think I'd call it a gun safe.
It's a safe.
Safe. It's just a safe. Let's leave it at that.
It's where we keep the bourbon and tequila around here, and that's all that's in it. Bourbon and tequila and guns. So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Banditos Yankees pitchers, how we doing in Texas? Good for you, brother. Skylar, there we go. Skylar Nils says, I want to learn a trade because paper is slowly dying.
At the gentleman.
Okay, yeah, that's the one from
The
up there.
gentleman up in Idaho.
And you know what I'd tell you? Skylar, look, it's not too late to learn a trade. What's the oldest apprentice you've got right now? Do you know?
I think we've got one that's in his late 40s.
I had one when I was an instructor at Local 100. It was 55.
Yeah.
And man, he was a go-getter. He's like, look, I'm here to learn. I'm here to grow. I'm here to get a job. I'm here to get things done. So, I mean, unless you tell me you're 90 and you've been doing it every day for your past life, I might say, well, that might be a little too old to get into plumbing or learn something new. But man, you might look at me and say, you're wrong, Roger. I'm going to get in here and do it. So all the opportunities are there. If you think you can do it, you can. Dave Smith says, here across the pond, electricians say plumbers smell, but at least we clean up after ourselves. Yeah, they say that. But you know what we tell electricians? Tell your wife to call us because we really know how to lay pipe. So, I mean, you can go wherever you want to go with it. RD Freshfit says, starting my plumbing apprenticeship on the 29th. Partially inspired by you. Well, number one, I love that. And I got to tell you, I run into people all around the country because I travel a lot. I run into people all the time. They're like, look, I'm getting in the trades because of you. I started the trades because of you. I now have my own plumbing company because of you. God, that tells me I'm getting old. Anyway, thank you. I love the fact that I do tell people about this and they see the opportunity. We need more people in the trades. Do you agree?
Yes, we need all kinds of people.
Every trade.
Every trade.
Plumbing, electrical, HVAC, roofing, and even elevators.
Elevator guys.
Okay, we need them all. They literally just went through 500 applicants to hire 125 people. So, guys, it's available. It's out there if you want it. GD Gaming 671 says, I'm a first generation plumber, 10 years in, already making six figures. Man, let me know where you're at. Just out of curiosity. No, I love that because how long does it take an elevator technician to get up to earning six figures?
Takes a while. Takes 5 years.
Five years to get all the way to the top.
Depending on if they go, if they make it in the service department.
Yeah.
Or, new construction, MIC wages, if they're steadily going after it, they can make it, but it takes a minute.
And I've seen plumbers, third, fourth year that are apprentices. So they're up high on the scale, but they're working at a place where they're putting in so many hours. It's like, it can be done. I used to tell people, I think the last year I made under six figures as a plumber was 1999. God, it may have been 98. But yeah, it's you can make whatever you want to make. Just get out there and work for it. Nicholas Walton says, airheads, no. Wire nuts, no. Potable water distributor, insanity waste remediation, and extraction. And that's the neat thing. And I love the way you put it because, yeah, we know they're airheads. And they're nuts. We ain't even got to put wire. They're just nuts. Yeah. But the cool thing is there's so many different opportunities. And electrical even has more opportunities than we do because there's low voltage, there's CCTV, there's all kinds of cabling and wiring and all kinds of stuff. Plumbers, you can do plumbing. You can be a drain cleaner. You can be a med gas plumber, a water supply protection specialist, pneumatics, hydronics. There's just so many different deals out there. You don't just have to get in. And so many people tell me, I don't want to get in and touch poop every day. And it's like, are you serious? Is that what you're worried about? Because as a plumber, I mean, even when I was doing service full-time in the field every day, I may have touched poop once every couple of months. And, you do it with gloves on, you do it with goggles on or glasses, you do it with a face shield, you do it with a full-body Tyvek suit. I don't care. You don't have to get it on you. So, anyway, pretty cool stuff. Plumbing Skater in the house. What's up, brother? How are you doing? Says, Roger, you still trying to hire me? You know what? I know people in Dallas hiring plumbers, guys, every day. So I'm an easy place to get a job at. You just come and say, hey, Roger, look, man, I need a job. Okay, go over here. It's not very hard. So, yes, good to see you in here. Ty Armstrong says, I'm planning on going to a trade school for plumbing this fall. Any advice you can give me? Well, number one, you're in a great spot. And believe it or not, this is what I recommend. Watch as many of my videos as you can. you're going to learn things. Okay. You may not be able to say, look, I've done that, but you can say, look, I know about that. I understand about an anode rod on a water heater. I understand about flushing a water heater, flushing a tankless water heater, whatever it is. There's so many things there that you can learn. And then if you don't want to just learn about plumbing, jump over to the trade talks, listen to where I interview people like Zach, and I ask them about how they got in the trades, what made them become good, how'd they start their own business, how do they use networking and marketing to grow it. There's a million different things, but, and I'm not the only plumber on YouTube. Watch from some other ones. Learn how not to do things. No, I'm joking. I know that was pretty funny. But no, there's some other good plumbers on YouTube that I like watching sometimes. So, and the opportunities are out there. Learn all you can before you get started and keep learning. Learn on the side. Go home and watch more videos. Go home and study something new. It'll help you all the way through your career. How about a GC superintendent? I'm an assistant super right now at 22 with no college. You know, look, man, I think that's great. I think the general contractor superintendents are the people that couldn't make it in the trade, so they moved up to do something else. I'm joking. I'm joking. There's a lot of good general contractor superintendents.
Right.
And a lot of them come from the field and moved up, and they've done good things, and that's how they got the position. What do you think? A general contractor. Did you ever want to go to work for a general contractor or be one or anything like that?
I never did. I just, wasn't what I wanted to do. But I mean, everybody needs them.
You bet.
And they do great
The jobs
work.
get done because of them.
They get done. Some people might think they're a pain
A
in
pain,
but
you bet.
hey, they get the job done.
And it's a big deal. Yep. We got to have them.
Yep.
I tell you what, one of the best superintendents or best general contractor superintendents I ever worked for, we were in a meeting one day and somebody came in and says, hey look, man, I got a problem. He says, okay, what's the solution? And he kind of looked at me and he says, what do you mean? He says, well, you've been out there, you're in the field, it's your trade, it's your craft, you've seen it. Don't just come to me with a problem, bring me a solution. I'm like, man, I love that. And if you can be that kind of a tradesman, I mean, you're already there. If I look up and say, man, I want to run a line from here to here, but there's a light there. Well, how would I fix it? Well, I would 90 over, I would come up here, I'd do this, I'd do this, I'd do this. So come in and say, hey, look, man, I got a problem in the field, but I think I've resolved it. Okay, tell me about it. All right, I can look on the prints, I can see it, I can say, hey, there's nothing there, hey, there is, or let me walk down the field and look at it with you. So general contractors are amazing. And treat your tradespeople that work under you with respect, because these are hard worker guys. Don't try to jack them over and don't tell them to do stuff that's not in their contract. They're not going to get paid for. And me, it's like, you want to change? There's a change order. Sign it. And make sure you have the authority to do that if you do. Danny Chicago says you have to count out two. IBEW wiremen have more opportunity for OT. Absolutely. Good. I was on a high rise in March of 99. The ship operator and iron worker GF were at $60K already. Guys, look, you can make as much money as you want to make in almost any trade, because in plumbing, electrical, HVAC, roofing, you have the opportunity to move up and open your own company one day. So you can make whatever you want to make. To stay in the field, though, you know what? You need to keep learning. You need to educate yourself to move up. Y'all pay more money for the mechanic in charge.
Right.
We pay more money for foremen, for superintendents, for general superintendents. And the opportunities are always going to be there. So move up, learn more, get better job opportunities, get better job pay, and it's worth it. This video is sponsored by the Wakefield app. Now, this is an app we've been working on for over a year just for stuff like this. We teach people how to get in the trades, not just get in the trades, find out what trade's right for them. Everybody's not going to get into service plumbing and think, oh my gosh, smelling poop every day is the greatest life I've ever wanted to live. It's not like that, but that's what they think. But, getting into the trades, when I teach people about getting in the trades, when I got into plumbing, I knew I was going to be a plumber. I had no idea there was residential, commercial, industrial, service, new construction, union, non-union. But I've sampled every bit of it, so I can talk about all of it. So we teach people how to get in the trade, but get into the right trade. And then for you, we teach people how to be the very best, okay? And that's what it's all about. If you want to move up and make more money, be the best. And you talked about money, and money's great, but you've got to enjoy what you're doing. So getting into the right trade is a big deal. We teach people how to start their own business and how to use networking and social media to grow it. Anybody interested, go over to the Wakefield app. If you pre-register, when it launches on the 22nd, I believe, you'll get all access from the very beginning, and I'd love to know what you think about it. So please go over, check out the Wakefield app, and let me know your thoughts. Sean Williams says, good morning from Florida. Just started a sewer inspection company and am looking forward to learning some techniques for growing my small business. Thank you for all that you do, Roger. And it's funny, Sean, have you ever played with the sewer camera or
No.
done one or anything at all? And they're neat. And here's what I would tell you, Sean, because I had an attorney reach out to me from Florida back in 2019, the very beginning of 2019. And he says, man, you talk about a sewer water test. How do you do it? And I went through and explained to him. And he said, would you be interested in opening a plumbing company in Orlando? And I'm like, no. And he said, you can make a lot of money. I said, well, I'll make a lot of money here, so I'm good. And he literally said, Roger, look, he said, insurance companies are just writing checks to plumbers to replace entire sewer lines under houses. And I said, okay, why? He said, because the plumber's coming in and saying, hey, there's a leak under the house and we need to replace all the pipe. Well, if you have a bad wire on an electrical system, do you replace the entire system? Do you replace the elevator or anything at all like that?
Yeah.
That's what they were trying to do. Look, we need to replace everything. And the insurance companies are literally just taking bids, and whoever's cheapest, that's who gets the bid. So I asked him, I said, well, you know, why? Why are they saying that? And he said, well, they're running the camera in there and saying the walls of this pipe are thin. And I'm like, I said, do me a favor, look at the wall next to you. And he says, okay. I said, how thick is it? He says, I don't know. I said, that plumber can't tell by looking at that camera how thick that wall is either. So anyway, you have a great opportunity being in Florida doing sewer inspections. I really think it can be great for you. And everybody on TikTok and Instagram, if you're interested, please jump over to YouTube, put a Q in first, and then ask your question. Love to give you a shout out and answer your question. Benito's Yankees picture says, pick a trade that interests you the most, but also have one that your body can handle for long term. Being an elevator mechanic for 20, 30 years, it's going to put a wear and tear on you.
Yeah, it's going to put a wear and tear on your knees, your back, your arms, everything. So it's a physical demanding job.
Mm-hmm. And guys, he's right. Put one you can handle. But here's the deal. They're all going to be tough. You know, if it was easy, we'd have our wives and children out doing it. We'd be at home eating bonbons. It's a lot of work. And there is a physical wear and tear on your body, no matter what you do. Right. If you don't want to do that, go get a desk job. Heck, even standing at McDonald's flipping burgers, you're going to put a wear and tear on your lower back. So, you know, it is. Just take care of yourself. Work out a little bit. Eat right. Take vitamins. Take supplements. Take whatever. Take care of your body. It's a big, big deal. Diaz Calleros says, can anyone run a plumbing service company in Dallas without a license, or do you need a master license? Diaz, you can run one. You can come in and buy a company. You just need to keep the master plumber working there, because you need a master plumbing license to run the business. But yeah, that's a course I was talking to people about a couple of weeks ago. I teach people how to come in, find these companies that, you know, the average age of plumbers in Texas is about 57 or 58 years old. The average age. Yeah. It's tough, because what that means is in about 7 years, half of us are going to be retiring. So I teach people how to come in and talk to these companies, because the bad thing is most of these plumbers don't have a retirement plan. They've got their company, they've got whatever they've made from it, whatever they've invested in it. And really a cool opportunity would be find the right investor, the right entrepreneur who knows how to really run a business, come in, put in systems and processes, straighten things up a little bit, make the numbers look a little bit better. And then I teach about rolling up or rolling out. You can roll up and find another company. Now you've got two. Now your annual revenue goes higher, your multiplier goes up. But you can also roll out. If you bought a little plumbing company, what if you bought a little electrical company and a little HVAC company and a little roofing company? Now you've got a full service business. And now that's rolling up and rolling out. Now you can literally add those multipliers together and say, hey, we're a home service company, and here's what we're worth now. You can make that multiplier go from 2 or 3 to 10 or 12. So it's neat stuff. But yeah, you don't have to be a master plumber to own and operate a company. Joseph Patty says, how old, Roger, were you when you started in plumbing? I was 16 years old, 1980, and I think I had to lie about my age. Or not lie, I may have put the wrong date down on the application.
That's what I would say.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Banditos is a junior in high school. Good for you. Are you answering the question for me? Yeah, it was my junior year. I ended up quitting, but then I loved plumbing, but then I had a girl talk me into going back and graduating. So I did. Trilogy says, to the guy who said he was leaving his career for plumbing at 31 years old, the owner of my company started plumbing at 31 also, and now he runs a company that makes $5 million a year with 40 employees. You can make good money in the trades, guys. I keep saying that. I don't know if people are really hearing me or not. You have a lot of guys make over 100 grand a year.
Right. Yeah.
A lot. How many electrical workers do you have in Texas? I don't know why I keep going to electrical. How many elevator mechanics do you have in Texas?
Well, we got right at probably 750 members in our local, but there's more than that because you've got different locals. You got Houston local, Austin local, San Antonio local. So yeah, there's quite a few people.
Pretty neat.
Yeah.
And guys, look, it's a great career. The benefits are phenomenal. Man, the elevator workers are one of the highest paid unions that there is. And their benefits are even better than the plumbing and electrical, I promise.
Yeah, just a little bit.
He just smiles. Yeah. Benito says, he said it in a Trade Talks episode. Yes, junior year. Thank you so much. Because his question on joining the plumbers union, is traveling possible with that trade? Can you work anywhere in the U.S. with your journeyman license, like with the IBEW? Of course, you get a travel card. Do y'all got those? If a guy's is like, man, I'm done in Texas, I want to move to New York.
He can transfer and be a transient for 6 months and work out of that local or work up there in their territory. And then in 6 months, he can transfer into that local and be there, or he can come back here.
Now, do you often call around? I mean, do you keep people on the bench, or is everybody
we try
pretty
to
much
keep the bench empty, but there's guys that are on it. But we have guys that call from different locals. Hey, I'm looking for work. You know, they can come in. We'll let them come in. If they can't, then we don't.
There you go. Gotta love it. There's the link to the other YouTube channel. Guys, I interviewed Zach a while ago talking to him about the benefits of being in the elevator workers union. And I heard about the benefits a long time ago on a construction job. And it blew my mind how much money these guys were making. So, man, if you're thinking about getting in the trades, you want to make good money, you want good benefits, you want to do all that, it's phenomenal. Number one, if you're in TikTok, if you're in Instagram, hit the follow, subscribe, like, whatever. And if you've got questions, please jump over to YouTube. Of course, hit the subscribe. Always want you to do that. But jump over to YouTube and put a Q in the comments. And that way you can ask whatever question you have. I can't see the comments on TikTok and Instagram because the phones are so far away. But, man, I'd love to hear your comments. So if you will, just jump over to YouTube. Leave me a note, leave me a message, leave me a question. Just if you put a question, please put a Q in front of it. Trilogy says, journeyman is state specific. You need to be licensed where you're working. And yes, but if you're in the plumbers union, you can still go to New York and work as a plumber. Now, yes, you're going to have to do whatever it takes for your license or transfer your license or whatever. And you may just have to go up there and here's the deal. If I go up to a commercial job in New York and I'm a plumber in Texas and I go up to New York and I register to get my apprentice card and they put me on a job, guess what? I can still do the work a journeyman does. It's not like you have to have that state license to even touch pipe or do the work. If an apprentice can do it, you can just register as an apprentice. So don't get me wrong, that means they can't put me out on a job running it all by myself or anything like that. You follow the rules of the state. Texas is the same way. If a plumber from New York comes to Texas and wants to go to work for me, no, he's not a licensed plumber here. But you know what? He's got his apprentice card, and I can put him out on a job with another journeyman, and guess what? He can do journeyman work while he's there. He can earn his money. Yep. Y'all about the same way?
Yeah.
Do they have to, if somebody does go to New York and eventually transfers their book up there, do they have to take the test up there? Or they're like, y'all are recognized nationally.
They do. Most states have licensing, but they're recognized like that.
It makes it amazing. Diaz again says, I have 4 years of experience in service plumbing, have my apprentice license, and have all of my tools. But the plumbers I worked for didn't have a license. They were subcontractors. Diaz, I hate to hear that. And it does. It happens to plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs a lot. They'll go to work for a group of guys or a mom and pop plumbing company or something like that. And they get in here and do the work. And this plumber never tells them about the apprentice registration. They don't want to report their hours. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. So, like you said, you've worked there 4 years. As far as the Texas State Board is concerned, you don't have any experience plumbing. And I hate to say that, but that's what happens. Now, I'd probably call down the Texas State Board and talk to Lisa Hill and say, hey, these are the guys I work for, and they're plumbing without a license. And they let me plumb for years without a registration, and see if there's anything you can do. Y'all's license isn't really like that. When you bring somebody in, they register through the union, so they're not getting sent out without a license or anything. So, yeah. And when you join the union, they're going to make you get your apprentice card before you even start. Even if you're going as a pipe fitter or welder, you got to have your apprentice card, because you may get sent out to a job with me. Well, I need you to work on plumbing today because the welding machine's down. Well, you got a choice. Go home or slide over here and help the plumbers. So different ways to look at it. Nicholas Walton says 60K plus in current AL market. I hope that's Alabama, not Alaska. What's the Lone Star State experienced journeyman pay? I think it's over 60K. A journeyman plumber in Texas right now is about $40 an hour. It's $38.40, so that's $80,000 a year. That's straight 40 hours a week, no overtime whatsoever. Depends on where you're at. Plumbing Skater says, as for the union, I want to point out that not all unions are the same. They have great educational programs, but in my area, the pay and benefits packages are comparable to non-union companies. And most unions, their pay is better. Most of them, not all of them. So it does. It depends on where you're at and what you're doing. Now he says, I've been in Local 13, Rochester, New York, plumber and pipe fitters union for 17 years. Just surrendered my union card last month and opened his own company. Good for you, brother. The opportunities are out there, guys. And here's what I love about what he's doing. He learned construction, okay, and learned it very well. And, I've seen his work. He's on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. And he's doing things right. You learn construction first. That way you know what goes in the walls, what goes behind the wall. Why is the system designed the way it is? Why is it important to set those anchors right and mount everything securely so it doesn't move later? When you're the one coming back working on it, you're like, oh my God, now this is going to be a pain. Yeah, we should have done it right the first time. So those are the kind of things that you can learn in the union. And with the training classes, I think they've got a better educational program. Open shop, there's not a program. You just jump in and do your deal. Diaz Caladeros says, Plumbing Skater, how was it working for Bacon Plumbing? I don't think he worked for Bacon Plumbing, did he? Did you work up here in Dallas? I don't think so. Nicholas Walton says, typically benefits do not buy the baloney. And you're right. Benefits don't, but when your paycheck is about 50 something bucks an hour, I mean, that's $2,000 a week in cash money, and your benefits are on top of it. So yeah, you're right. Benefits don't buy nothing. But when the union plumbers in town are making $38 an hour, which is more than the average plumber's making, and they've got another 20 something in their benefits package, that's $70 an hour is like $140,000 a year job. So, yeah, if you don't want it, you don't want to pay the dues, don't be a union plumber. You have people complain about the dues sometimes, don't you?
Yeah.
Then quit. You ain't got to pay them, but you ain't going to go out to work. It's up to you. And I got to tell you, before I opened my own company, I made a lot more money in the union than I did non-union and had better benefits. And I've got a pension. So if you don't like it, don't do it. You don't have to. Nobody's going to twist your arm, I promise. I mean, they may, but not for that reason. Plumbing Skater says, I didn't work for them. I didn't think so. How did you like the change to working for yourself? Look, I loved working for myself. I got to design the kind of company that I would have wanted to work for. We want to do things right. We want to specialize in slab leaks, leak detection, whole house water filtration systems. I wanted to specialize in the stuff that we could make more money at. And I wanted to become the go-to guy in those things. And I mean, that's why we've got Leak Pro now. We've got a leak detection training center right out here. We train plumbers how to find leaks on water lines and sewer lines. We built a training center out here. The people we've had out here looked at it said, I've never seen anything like this. I understand. I designed it. I wanted to find a way to teach people the things that I really thought would make their companies different and better and help them grow their bottom line. So working for myself was great. I got to make the rules. At the end of the day, I'm an alpha male. I want to make my own rules. I don't want to play by somebody else's. Not a lot of elevator brothers go to open their own company, though, do they?
No, not very many.
But they can still move up and be a foreman, a superintendent, director of operations, move into the union. The opportunities are there for anybody that wants to move up and do things.
They're there.
Nicholas Walton says, I just don't see the upside respectfully. I wouldn't want someone between me and the check signer negotiating my stead. You know, here's the deal. And Nicholas, we talked about this earlier. From the first 6 months I was in the union, I never made scale. I made overscale. Anything you do is negotiable. If you're good enough, you can negotiate your own package. You can walk in when they say, hey, we want you to be a foreman. We want you to be a superintendent. Okay, but here's the deal. I get paid holidays because most of the union has. Do y'all get paid holidays?
Yeah, we get paid holidays.
Plumbers union doesn't. And y'all get paid vacation.
Right.
We don't. But when I quit in the union, I was making double scale. And that's a big deal. To get up where you're that high above scale, look, I don't mind anybody negotiating for what everybody makes. It's a better benefit or a better package than open shop. But you've also got to understand, hey, I can negotiate my own deal, my own benefits. And I learned that from one of the first jobs that I was on. The superintendent says, hey, if y'all want to work extra, y'all can have a day off. Remember what I got in trouble for? He said, I'm not worried about it. I get paid anyway. I said, well, why do you get paid? He said, it's part of the package I negotiated. I'm like, okay, wait, tell me about that. Because I didn't know that when I first got in. But when I found out, man, when the next company called saying, hey, we'd like to have you over here, it's like, well, let's negotiate this. Let's talk about this. Here's how much I want. I want vacations. I want holidays. We're like, okay, come on, let's go. So you can do whatever you want to do. Just, I think the education in the union makes that a better place for all the hands because they're actually taught in the field. And I'm not trying to argue with you. I think there's benefits to both sides. The benefits to be an open shop plumber, you don't have to go to school at night. You don't have to learn. You don't have anything above what's on your check. You get all of it. But you also don't have a pension and a 401k and health insurance that somebody else is paying for. So anything to say about all that?
Well, you hit it nail on the head.
Plumbing Skater says, I opened my company in July last year. I worked the union job in the day and my company residential in the evenings, part-time, and 3 months on my own, made 1 year of union income. Yeah, if you're working for yourself, guys, look, you can make a ton of money working for yourself. But you work for yourself, and that requires you to work. You are the technician, you're the manager, you're the entrepreneur. You got to make the phone ring, you got to collect the money, and you got to do all the work. And it's a lot of work. But then you can move up and hire people and let them do some of the work. And then you do what you're best at. Nicholas Union says those plumbing or those union dues being paid, vote. And Nicholas, look, I paid my dues. I just didn't like them telling me who I had to vote for. Alan Thomas says, if I remember, I visited Texas and I have a master license in Virginia and Florida and Georgia, and I couldn't be allowed to take the test there because I didn't have high school diploma. That's changed now, brother. And now I think even if you've got a license, you should be able to take it anyway. But they're not requiring a high school diploma right now. I didn't have a high school diploma because I started trade school young, journeyman license 17, master at 19. Dad died when 17, so started the business to run. Then he didn't graduate. They've got that changed right now. I really think. Hold on. Okay. I really think that if you call the Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners, you can probably get in and do it now if you want to. Plumbing Skater says, but I don't recommend starting a company until you have at least 7 years experience. Yep. Good for you. May I ask, talk about initial customer base acquisition when just starting? Yeah, Nicholas, when I started my company, and I think me and Plumbing Skater have had this conversation. When I started my plumbing company, look, I had no money. I literally walked out of a job on Friday, started my company the next Monday. And I had been wanting to start a company, so I had the name, I had the registration, I had the insurance. I don't even think I had a website. I may have had business cards. I literally, when you don't have money, you have a lot of time. So I would go around to local real estate offices and walk in and say, hey, I'm Roger Wakefield. Love to talk to your real estate agents about sewer water tests and what they should be doing and different things like that. And I'd get to talk to them, and it was amazing. And that's really how I started doing it. Just getting out, shaking real estate agents' hands. Because if you build one good relationship with a real estate agent, they can introduce you to 40, 50 people a year. Just saying, it works. What do you hear as being the biggest benefit about being in the union? Not just your thoughts, but other people. What do they tell you they love about it?
They like the membership being a brotherhood, and long-lasting friendships, and a learning to do something that they can, that they're proud of. Being in the elevator trade, once when you go through the apprenticeship program and you start putting elevators in, you can you feel better to do stuff at home. Some guys like, man, I can't do that. Well, you just did something kind of like that, at the job. The basics, so you get a little bit more confident on things, and you can do more things at your house than you can just, calling the plumbers or the electricians.
Your mechanical skills go way up.
Yes, they go way up, and your plumbing skills probably go way down, but, just giving him a hard time.
So dues are probably the biggest complaint I ever heard. What complaints do you get from people about the union?
We get complaints about the dues, but then when you break it down to them about what, their insurance and their benefits and all that stuff, you're going to have the ones that are never going to be happy.
Yep.
No matter what they're making an hour or what their dues are, what their benefits are. So you talk to them, you go about your business, they like it or they lump it, but you deal with it. You talk to them in a professional manner and let them know, hey, I'm sorry, but this is what I have to pay. This is what you have to pay. And we deal with it.
And guys, it's not for everybody. No. I get that. And if you're on TikTok, Instagram, and I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on it, please jump over onto YouTube, ask a question, put a Q in front of it. Tell me if you get over here. Say, hey, just came over from TikTok, just came over from Instagram. I'd love to know y'all's thoughts. But the union benefits, the union dues aren't that expensive. And I mean, just think about the insurance. I've been at companies where I've paid as much as $300 a week for insurance. And that was, I think, me, my wife, my son, whatever it was. It was the family package. And the union dues were about $50 a month. Well, you give me my $300 a week back for the insurance, and I'll give you $50 a month. I'll take that as a fair trade.
Right. It's a good trade.
It's not a bad deal. I'm not going to complain. Nicholas says Ricola. Yep, I understand. Alan Thomas says, I'm 65 years old now, retired, had over 100 employees, and had that business 48 years. Alan, I love this. And man, if you're still in here, I know it's been a little while since you asked this question. God, man, I got to hurry. I'm way behind. Yeah, I'm gonna fix to start speed round with my questions. But Alan, if you're still in here, I'd like to know, did you sell that company? Did you shut down that company? Did you raise a son or daughter, somebody to run it? Just be interested in knowing. So I'm going to go through these really, really quick, guys, because I am probably about 40 minutes behind. Plumbing Skater says, literally the reason I actually did it was because Roger talked me into it at the 2023 Wet Show. Good for you, brother. I heard that Local 420 is big in Florida. Guys, all the locals are big. They've all got great benefits. They've all got good packages. Get down and talk to them. Plumbing Skater, you are welcome, brother. Henry says, glad to hear you followed through with it. Absolutely. But Martinez says, how can you decide between pursuing HVAC or plumbing? Man, you've got to sit down and do the research. Find out which has the best opportunities in your area. I think that's the biggest deal. Captain Canadian says, cheers, plumber here from Newfoundland, Canada. From Newfoundland, Canada. Love your videos. Keep it up. And I've got a lot of friends up in Canada. A lot of plumbers that social media influencers that I meet at events and we hang out with. Pretty cool. Mr. Subaru 1387 in South Carolina, replacing Poly B. I hate polybutylene. In my 1980s home, would you replace it with PEX A or PEX B? I love the expandable PEX. Nicholas Walton says, I remember. Salute to you and your friend, Betten Martinez. This is Zach with the Elevators Union. And man, this has been a great show today. It's been fun. Michael's got a question. Says, which trade gets the most hate? To me, it seems like the drywallers like to piss off everyone in sight. They put up their walls anywhere they like. Do they get paid by the sheet they put up? You know, here's the deal. Everybody hates everybody on the job site. We're there to do a job. We want to do our job and everybody else stay out of our way. So we hate anybody who's in our way. At the end of the day, man, we're all trades workers. We all were there to build a building. And I don't think anybody really hates anybody. I know I talk trash to electricians every opportunity I get. But, man, at the end of the day, I want them to do great things. I want everything to be good for them. And that's why I do what I do. I mean, you know, this video is sponsored by the Wakefield app. It's for all the trades. What I've learned from getting into the union and hiring coaches and consultants and trainers, and stuff, I learned how to move up and make more money. And that's all I've learned. And I just want to teach other people how to do it. So there's a scroller across the bottom. If you want to find out about it, go to that website. Denver Plumber, first year apprentice. Flacco 5280, thank you for being here. Leon Sans says, where's the best place a carpenter can make some great money if they work hard enough? You know, I'm going to say it depends on what kind of carpenter you are. Are you a framing carpenter? Are you a trim carpenter? I'd like to hire a carpenter right here at the outhouse for a while. I'm wanting to modify my barn and do a bunch of stuff. So you can make great money anywhere. You just got to know your value, know your worth, and figure out how to get into the right position. Micah says, what do they not tell you about the trades? Do you really destroy your body years into the trade? How's the work-life balance and work culture? I'll let you talk about that one. You can destroy your body.
Yeah, you can destroy your body quite, very well. You'll have bad knees, bad hips, bad ankles, arms. You're steadily lifting heavy equipment. It's a hard physical job, but do you want the job and do you want the pay that you're gonna make for doing that job? You just got to take it serious and deal with it. Everybody hurts. Some people when they get out of bed they pop and they crack.
Oh, bad.
Yeah. I wish when I'm driving into work that I'm still laying in the bed because my back's hurting, the knees are hurting.
It gets that way.
But at the big picture, you're making a living, you're making a good wage.
You're going to be able to retire.
You're going to be able to retire. Is it what you want to do? And, are you happy?
Yeah, I like this. And people ask me about a work-life balance. There's not. You've got to work. You've got a job to do. You take the time that you have, you enjoy the time you have, and you do what you can with it. I've you ask Squirt, I used to tell him, look, when opportunity comes along, when overtime comes along, take it, put that money up, enjoy it. But, you know, when you're asked to work, what happens to an elevator mechanic if they're like, hey, we're working 12-hour days, and they're like, nope, I only work 10.
Yeah, you're probably not going to work much
Yeah,
longer.
they're not going to keep them around very long.
They'll
Yeah,
find somebody else.
We talked about this in the podcast, guys. Jump over there and subscribe over to the Trade Talks channel, but listen to this podcast coming out in a couple of weeks because, man, we understand. The people who hired you have a job to be done, and they want you to do that job. And if you're like, I can't do that, I've got to go home and take care of the kids because my wife has to work. I've got to go home do this. I got to go home do this. Then just go home. Just stay there. We don't need you here. You're fine. Don't mean it bad, but that's what it's about. And the work culture, I think, is great. You build friends and camaraderie and all kinds of things, not just with your trade, but with other trades. Captain Canadian says 23, an apprentice plumber. There's very few people my age getting into it. Really is an aging population. Makes me wonder what it will be like in 20 years when everyone is aged out. I'll tell you what it'll be like. You'll be owning the plumbing company and making a ton of money. Micah says, Leon, sounds any trade open in your own company unless you want to be an employee your whole life. Blue states like New York or California pay the most, but also have the highest living cost. I agree with that. Nicholas says a decade of service plumbing is what kept CV19 at bay. Immune. I think plumbers have been in so much disease-ridden situations that, there's not much can get to us. Checo 50 says, question about the IUEC Local 21 just got ranked in the 90s for an apprenticeship. How long is it going to be to take for the call?
How long is it going to take you? Just as soon as the companies start calling and we go down the list, when I get to you, I'll call you. It takes a little bit because a lot of companies it's really slow right now. But once we get rocking and rolling, get ready to answer the phone.
And here's the thing, man, a lot of people are going to wait till November to start hiring.
Right.
Wait to see who's going to win the election. So guys, look, here's the deal. I'll tell you something right now. And if you've heard us talk, you already know it. Go find a job as an electrical contractor. Go find a job at a commercial electrical contractor. Learn electrical. Learn anything you can. Learn the tools. Learn how to be on the job. And just understand that the day you get a call, you got to say, okay, I'm coming. I'll be there tomorrow. That's about right, isn't it?
Right, it is.
When you call them, do you say you got to be there next week, 2 weeks, or do you say, hey, I need you tomorrow?
A lot of times they wanted you yesterday, but can you make it tomorrow?
And that's why I said it that way.
Yep.
So you've got to go take this other job, understanding and learning, hey, I may quit today when I go to work. I may quit tomorrow when I go to work. Because when your phone rings and you read down and you check the message and it says, hey, it's Zach, I need you to work tomorrow. You say no, it's liable to be 6 more months before you get a call again.
Or a year.
Or a year. So don't say no. Remember, this job's going to get you where you want to be. But Martinez says, how can you pick from HVAC or plumbing? It's kind of hard. HVAC, you just got to look at what all's required in the work. Look at the different opportunities in each job. In HVAC, you can become an indoor air quality specialist. Plumbing, you can be a whole house water filtration specialist, slab leak specialist. Look at all the different things and say, hey, what would I like to do every day? That's how I do it. Leon Sound says, appreciate your answers, bro. Thank you. You are welcome. I got an app coming out. Yes, I do. Guys, there's the link to the app. If you hadn't done it yet, go over there and just sign up. Check out the free app. It's going to be released, if I'm not mistaken, in 4 days. Mason L. Ahern says, hey, guys, from West Austin. I love it down there. I was in East Austin a couple of weeks ago. Nicholas Watson says, best initial steps for customer-based acquisition. And get out and meet them. Go to join your local chamber of commerce. Go to networking events. Go to anything and everything you can to get out and meet people, shake hands, and make an impression.
Go to where the people are.
Yeah, they're there waiting for you. Plumb like you're doing it for the Lord. Plumb like it pays your family, because that's what it's doing. 19, living in New York, going to start a mental trades program. I thought, man, we're all mental. Going to start a metal trades program to help me join the union. Is that good? Anything you can learn before you get in the union, if it involves tools, if it involves electricity, water, hydronics, air, anything at all like that, yeah, it's going to help you. Generally, that's what work does, body breakdown. You know, no matter what job you have. I mean, if you're a dog catcher, you're sitting in a truck all day, every day. You know what? You're hurting your body. Ollie says, I'm 19, living in New York, starting in the metal trades program. Okay, we did that one a while ago. Stevie, 2023, Houston, Texas, plumber. Brandon O says, I used to be a CNC machinist, then a carpenter, then a union sprinkler fitter. I've done that one. Loving every minute of it. Very demanding. Definitely a field to get into. Local 183 has expanded so much. Hey guys, I'm slowly catching up to y'all. Jerry Cardenas says, should I do HVAC or low voltage? Which do you prefer? Me and him would probably pick two different answers. Yeah. You got to think about what you like to do. Ivan says, hey, Roger, I'm fourth year apprentice, 25 years old, and I know that I don't want to be somebody else's employee forever. How long should I wait to do my own thing? I think Plumbing Skater was right, 7 to 8 years. He said 7, I think 8. You need to get experience. Don't just learn what you're doing. Learn how to run a business. Learn how to acquire customers. There's a million things you don't know, and I hate to say that. I'm actually writing a book about it right now. I teach each one of my avatars the 4 levels, the foundation level, how to get into the trades, how to become the best tradesman, how to start your own business, how to use networking and social media. And man, when I started my business, I realized there's a lot that I don't know. Jamie Gurney says, hey, Roger, UK gas engineer, thinking of moving in the U.S. Am I right in thinking that my qualifications here don't mean anything and I'll have to retrain? Not necessarily. A lot of the companies over here, if you'll come in and explain to them, look, here's what I've done, here's what I've got, here's the proof, they want to see proof. I was able to get one of my veterans apprentices credit for work he did in the military. He had to write a CO and say, hey, I need a message saying that I worked on plumbing for 2 years. Wrote him a letter. Look, this guy built our barracks. He fixed our plumbing. He did this. He did this. He did this. So you can get whatever you want. Advice for apprenticeship plumber: number 1, don't use all caps. The Nightbot will boot you out. That makes think you're yelling at me. But look, keep learning. Don't ever stop learning. Anything for you?
No,
It's huge.
Just learn all you can. Be the best you can at your trade.
Happy Demsum says, I want to say thanks for the great videos. Hopefully this summer I can get into the HVAC industry. Looking forward to a future career in the trades. I love it. Question, why don't people talk more about the substance abuse in the trades? To me, it seems like so many guys cope with alcohol just to deal with the job. I don't know that they cope with it or if they can afford it. I drink because the way my mind runs, I need something to slow me down at night. And I don't drink every day. God, there was probably a time there that I did, but it was like a drink or two. It's not like getting drunk. Now, I have seen people on a job, as soon as they got in their truck, man, they're chugging vodka. And it's like, man, I feel sorry for you, brother. But you don't know if their body's worn and torn and they're hurting or what. I don't see that big of a problem with it, not like you're talking about. And I've had people work with me that, I don't know, do you see a lot of substance abuse problems where you're at?
We do, but, we address it when we have to because it's an everyday, it's a life. Everybody has,
everybody's got things
there's something going on. It's how you want to deal with it. Do you want to just go hide in the corner and bellyache and whine about it? Or do you want to man up and deal with it and go to work and do your thing? And then you face the problems you have and you do it. And yeah, that's just the way that I was taught and everybody else was taught that I know.
And I know the local here had like a 30-day plan, a 60-day plan. Oh, yeah, first time you're in trouble, look, 30 days, take off, fix yourself, do what you got to do. Then you come back, you get busted again at 60 days, then it's 90 days, and then I think you're done. Yeah, we have a process. If you have a substance abuse or any kind of, we'll send you to a program. We want you to get help. We want you to get help. You bet. We will give you we have all the resources. All you have to do is come find me, and we'll take care of it. I love it. Charles Johnson says, what are you guys' thoughts on having a standardized system like the Canadian Red Seal? Do you think America should do the same? What about a North America-wide seal of recognition? I love it. I think that there should be an MEP board that you can get a national plumbing, electrical, or HVAC license. That way, if there's a catastrophe in Alabama, plumbers in Texas that aren't working can head there and go to work and help people. So I love that idea.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Brandon O says, Jay, find a good company, learn as much as you can, show up on time, work hard, ask questions, and study. The more you're willing to do, no matter how hard, will set you up greatly. Think ahead. And Brandon, great answer there. And that you any tradesman here can look at any one of those answers. That will help you get better. Any one of the comments that you said there. Why delete the drinking comment? I don't think we deleted it. We talked about it. Question. Why don't people talk more about the substance abuse? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, we talked about it a while ago. Happy I was correcting my grammar. You're good. Okay. Oh, you're asking him. Okay. Chad Andrews says, I've been a plumber in California for 30 years, C36 license, 18 years. We'll be moving to Texas next year. Can I run my own company with a master plumber license in Texas, or do I need an RMP? You'll have to have an RMP or hire one, but you can move to Texas and get your master's license. Contact the Texas State Board now. Find out what all you've got to do. You may have to register as an apprentice right now. There's a lot of things you may have to do, but it will definitely help you out. Happy Dim Sum says, fair enough. Nicholas Walton, and union still collects the dues. Yeah, guys, the union's got bills to pay. The union draws that money in to help cover expenses. So yeah, there's a lot of things there that have to be done. And I want to read this. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it up. I see I got a super chat in. It says, I'm 32, and this is NYC Awakening. It says, I'm 32, left my office job, want to become a plumber. I was in the Army in my 20s. Any advice for office people going into trades? Yeah, get out and do it. Do it sooner than later. You can start in a plumbing or elevator union right now, somewhere around $20, $25 an hour. That's 40 to 50 grand a year. You're not going to start in the Dallas one. You're in New York City, I'm assuming. That's probably a harder one to get in. But start talking to them now. What website did you say they can go to find out when they're hiring?
You can go to neip.org. That's NEIEP.org. And that'll tell you every location in the United States, every local that is recruiting. And you can click on that, and it'll tell you if it's doing it now or when it will be.
And that's huge. Nicholas Watson says retirement depends on the company you work for. That's true, because I do know some electrical companies that do have retirement. I mean, some open shop companies that do have a retirement plan. Hey, Roger, please say a prayer for me. I'm moving all my fittings for all pipe tubing into mod box organizers and sorting tools today. Yeah, brother, everybody needs to pray for you. You got your hands full. Trilogy says, Plumbing Skater, how about a year ago you posted a YouTube short roughing in a shower valve? It looked like the shower head was going through the floor. Please explain. Denver Charboy in the house. What's up, brother? Says, I'm working at the Nexstar battery plant in Windsor, Ontario with the union, and licensed plumbers are bringing home $4,100 a week. Tell me any non-union that plays that well. Guys, look, in a union, you make more money. Nicholas says, if I can take it apart, I can put it back together, usually with a couple of pieces left over, but it works, which means I just done it better. I love the way you think, brother. Olger Manstein says, update on me trying to get into the electric union. I didn't get in. Then, man, either keep trying if you want to. Think about the plumbers, the elevators, or the HVAC unions. And maybe go back and ask them, can you tell me why I didn't get in? They may want you to have some job experience. You know, we talk in the podcast about if you can't get into the elevator union right now, go get a job as an electrician. Learn electrical work. Learn to use the power tools. Learn to walk on a job site every day and be safe. Learn things that are going to help you and get you more points when you're applying for that job. And the pieces, I get that. Thank you, brother. Ibram Ramdan says, I'm a great plumber, but horrible businessman. Any advice? Yeah, contact a local business, a local entrepreneur, maybe even one that's not in plumbing. Contact an electrician. One of my favorite mentors that I went and sat talked to owns a $175 million a year electrical company. And we were able to sit and talk. And one of the first things he taught me is, you need to raise your prices. And I'm like, no way. He says, oh yeah, you're not near high enough. People think you're cheap. And I'm like, man, Not what I wanted. IMT786, thank you, brother. Says, thanks for the video, Roger. Please pray for me. Yeah, dude, you got your hands full. But Abraham, look, finding a coach and a mentor is what really helped me grow. And I'm telling you, it does work. Denver says, non-union I've worked at and had terrible experience. They don't care about your well-being and your safety. We'll never go non-union again. Number one, never say never. But, you know, and I think they may care about your health and safety. The unions have it put together in systems and processes, and they make it all work. The Green Faction says, I've heard from a former carpenter turned plumber that they were paid after a certain number of footage. No, now they may be working piecework or something like that. They may get more after a certain number of footage, but normally, yeah, okay, there it is, along with hourly. So that's a comp plan is what it is. That was the Boston area. Nicholas says, good. Supers will bring plumbers in first. So plumbers need some knowledge of electrical and HVAC. Look, plumbers are normally the first ones on the job because they put pipe in underground. Now, electricians may put some. The elevator workers may come and say, hey, we need this. That there's something, but plumbers are normally there from day one. Bet Martinez says, thank you, Nicholas Walton. Whatever you choose, do it as though it's for God Almighty, and you will be successful. Woodford Reserve on. Make sure union boss gets his sip first. Yeah, if that's what it takes to keep a good job, brother, I don't mind that. I share. Union Local 24 North Jersey Commercial Service. Good for you. Commercial service, plumbing, electrical, HVAC. I'm assuming plumber, since we are the best. Or maybe elevators or something. I don't know.
Hey, it's your show.
Tim Pennis is just coming over from TikTok. Thank you very much, brother. I'm a 34-year-old plumber and now teaching plumbing students here in Kentucky. Best career ever, in your opinion. Tim, I got a question. Have you ever showed my videos in your class? And I know that sounds crazy, but I went to New York to do the Chris Cuomo show, and this little girl comes in. She's in a program there called Apex, and she's like, oh, my God, my instructor shows your videos all the time. And I thought that was hilarious. Nicholas says, thank you, Roger Wakefield, for the insights and guidance. God bless. Thank you, sir. Denver says, I'm working at the Next Star battery plant. I read that a while ago. Thank you. Boss man calls. Yes, sir, I'll work. Amen. Cody Griffin says, I'm a journeyman HVAC chiller mechanic with Local 72. Work with Johnson Controls. I did residential work for 8 years after tech school. HVAC has taken care of my family pretty good for the last 10 years. Guys, look, getting into the trades is phenomenal. You can make a good living. Matt says, I was a plumber 18 years ago, left the field for an office job with a general contractor. Regretfully let my journeyman license go, let it expire years ago. Is there any way to go back and get it again? Yeah, you got to start over. Go back, take your test again. First of all, get registered as an apprentice. I think you'll have to do that. But if you already had a license, you may not have to. But yeah, Matt, you can do that. Robert Skekchak says, this guy's the biggest joke to the plumbing industry. Not even a real plumber from the trenches, a real proposer. Well, Robert, brother, I'll work circles around your little ass any day. I am a master plumber and have been for 40 years, or been a plumber for over 40 years. So have fun. Robert, I found the electrician. As a vet, he could go through a helmet to hard hats program. Yes, and that's a great program, no matter which union you're talking about. The UA does that very well also. Denver says, is there a chance you could make a video on telling us what the difference is between a pipe fitter and a plumber? Yeah, you know what? I need to make a video about that because Randy's a pipe fitter. I'm a plumber. So, yeah, we can do that. Plumbing saved my life. Licensed in 2011. Tim Fannin says, yes, Roger, I've shown your videos in my class. I get all my students to follow you. Thank you very much. I'll tell you what, Tim, if you'll reach out to me, connect with me on LinkedIn, connect with me. That little girl at Apex that told me that, I ended up sending her a swag bag. Let me know how many plumbing students you got. I'll send y'all a swag bags up there. Henry's in here. He'll make a note of it. So reach out to me on LinkedIn or Henry Wakefield, either one, and we'll take care of you, brother. Appreciate it. And that's why I asked him. Thank you. Man, this has been fun.
It's been great.
It's kind of gone by a little quick.
Yeah.
Everybody on TikTok and Instagram, man, glad y'all have hung around. I'm going to pull this forward so I can see a little bit. all kinds of comments. Just got the #1 gift badge. Can someone with no experience with tools get into the trades? Absolutely. That's always a possibility. Look, when I speak on stages, one of the very first things I say is, how many of y'all have a toilet, a kitchen sink, or a water heater at home? And, of course, everybody laughs and raises their hand. I said, okay, y'all knew as much about plumbing as I did when I got in. What did you know about elevator work before you got into being an elevator?
Nothing.
You know how to press a button.
I knew how to push a button and it come down and ding and took off.
There you go. I pressed a button and it got me up where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
So, man, this has been fun. I'm going to slide that back over here just so we can finish up. Zach, if people wanted to get in the union, the Elevator Workers Union, where do they go or how do they get in touch with you?
If they want to get in touch with me, go to iueclocal21.org and look on employment opportunities, and it'll tell you there. And it gives you our email and our phone numbers. Or you can go to NEIP, that's NEIEP.org, and that gives you all this across the United States what locals are recruiting right now.
Man, great stuff. Guys, we got the new app coming out. Remember, this video is sponsored by the Wakefield app. There's a scroller across the bottom. Go check out the Wakefield app. This is something, and look, there's a free part of the app. There's a paid part. You can get in for free. You get morning motivationals. You get access to commercial-free videos. You get a lot of things in here. But this is for people that are interested in getting in the trades, people that are interested in becoming better at the trades, meaning you want to make more money. You want to become a foreman, a superintendent. You want to move up. People that want to start their own business and people that already own their business, the entrepreneurs that want to learn how to use networking and social media to make their phone ring to really help them grow. Tim Fannin says, thanks, brother. Thank you. Ibram Ramdan says, what do you think on becoming a subcode official? Man, I never wanted to be any kind of an official. I just wanted to be a good plumber. Elevator techs make the most in Ontario. They make the most in the United States, too.
They make bank.
Yeah. They make freaking bank. Absolutely. Guys, I want to say a special thanks to Zach for being in here today. This has been fun. I love what I get to do. A special thanks to y'all because y'all are the ones that make it all possible. Y'all allow me to do the things that I do each and every day. If you like this video, do me a favor, give us a thumbs up. If you really loved it and you know somebody else that could get some value out of this, share it with them. Let them know about it. I will be home for about the next month. So it really looks like things are going to be really, really good. I'm going to be here shooting videos, doing some things. May have to travel a little bit, but to be honest, I plan on being here. So thank y'all for being here. If you like the videos you see, give us a thumbs up. Like I said, share them with people. And if you hadn't done it yet, subscribe to the channel. I hope you enjoy it. So I tell everybody now, I'm Roger Wakefield. And what I do is help elevate and educate the trades. And that's not right. I help transform and elevate the trades through education, innovation, and community engagement. There's over 1 million unfilled trades jobs across the United States right now. In the next 3 years, that number is going up to 3 to 4 million. We need more people in the trades each and every day. So do what you can to help recruit people, tell people about it, and if you will, send them to my channel and I'll help get them into the trades. Thank y'all for being here. I really do appreciate it. Whatever you do out there today, do it safe and hit it effing hard.